Let's break down Bearman a little bit. Can you
Right.
describe like the origin of Bearman? Like what motivates you to just wake up and become Bearman? What is the routine for Bearman on a Sunday game day?
Okay. Well, the first question, well, how it came, yeah, just didn't come up with one day. See, I always been doing, having season tickets from '85. I've always been doing something a little bit special from the beginning. I used to blow these air horns right at the game. I used to bring in with me, when they scored or a sack or whatever. Then I went to waving these flags. They came out with bear flags, and me and another guy in the end zone were like one of the first ones to do that. Then I even got custom flags, made, and then that led to putting on face paint. Probably like in the early '90s, I used to wear like even a regulation Bears helmet. Then that went to those punk rock wigs that came out, costume shops, like blue ones, orange ones. I used to wear that. And again, I guess the idea came. I always loved the Bears logo. I loved part of me wishes they'd have the Bears logo on their helmet instead of the C. The C's fine, but I really love the Bears. A lot of times I just see my hat, I got it on. A lot of stuff I buy is the Bears logo, the head logo, growling bear instead of the C. And I thought about, going to a costume shop, maybe getting a bear head that growl, had a growling face on it. No, there's nothing in costume shops then, all this cutesy stuff that, the bear smiling like a cuddly teddy bear type. And then I think back in '95 or, early '96, I seen a guy in the next section over, just one game, I think it was. He actually had a bearskin rug on him, a whole bearskin rug, a black bear, like on his head and his back. And he wasn't really have a costume besides that or that kind of gave me the idea. I was like, wow, I like the head on it. I didn't want to wear the whole rug. That's kind of really wouldn't work. So I called some taxidermists up, see, that's usually where you're going to buy one of those. And I found one in Palatine that had one for sale in his shop. It was a smaller black bear, and I guess nobody wanted it because it was a smaller one. But I went up there, looked at it, and it was looked great, good price. And I was too embarrassed to tell the guy, hey, you think I could cut this head off and wear it on my head? So, but so I took it, had a friend help me from work. It's mounted on plywood. You got to cut the plywood off. Then there's styrofoam underneath. So I'll spoon that out. I had no idea it could, fit on my head, but, put some foam padding in it, put a strap around it. And basically Bearman was born like in November of '96 season. I wore the head for the first time. I think, with face paint, the plank jersey always, I just had jeans on at the time. And then it kind of took off because, a guy from NFL Films was there like right off. He came into the stands and filmed me for the Bears highlights for the next year. And because of that, the next season, NFL Films was hired to do these Miller Lite Rapid Fan commercials. And so this was at the Monday night game against the Saints, or maybe a Sunday night game against the Saints when Dicka's returned. So we did commercials here in Chicago. That's the first time I've been paid. And then things kind of just escalated. And then after the '97 season, some friends and family told me, you should, this was the Wanstad years, you should, write the Bears, letter saying you want to be involved some way in the game day activities. I said, "Why you crazy?" He said, "Maybe they'll let you on the field." I go, "No way! Come on! Why would they let me on the field?" And by God, I wrote Ken Feldesari there in January of '97 or '98, I should say. And 2 weeks later, he wrote me back, said he liked, he knew of me from other stuff. They used me on their calendar once when I had a punk wig and face paint, bear down flag, and he said, "Yeah, let's meet at the fan convention." We met at the fan convention that year, the first fan convention. Then he had me come to Hallis Hall. He said, "Well, we're not going to make you the official mascot." He said, actually, he was kind of concerned that because of the head is a real bear head, and he actually thought PETA people might be giving them some problem. So he said, "Well, we still want you on the field somehow, and there's an opening to run with one of the giant bear flags." So so I got that that was such an honor and a good way to meet players, after the game, and used to hang out along the locker rooms and so forth. So, and then I did that from through 2002. Then unfortunately, with the new stadium, they hired state. They told me that they were going to get an official mascot, and they said, unfortunately, either I could apply for it, but I didn't. I don't have any mascot experience, and I didn't want to quit my job either. It's a full-time job, and they said, well, you could still run the flag, but without the costume. Because the people who actually hired me back in 98 weren't there any longer. They had new people, so they really didn't know my background. So, I ran without the Bearman costume for 2 years. I got tired of that. I didn't want to lose the identity of Bearman, so I went back in the stands. So, and my costume then evolved too through the years. I used to wear Zubaz pants on the field and that sort of thing, but now I got fur legs and fur arms and everything. So, but yeah, I mean that's But as far as my routine, I get up at 3 a.m, to put on my face paint. I don't, I'm kind of anxious to get going first thing in the morning. Head down to our private tailgating lot. It's called the Chicago Bears Tailgating Club at Wabash and Cermak there, Chinatown, and we're diehard tailgaters. We can't work with that 4 hours like the other lot. So since it's private, there's a bunch of us that get there already at 5 a.m, between 5 and 6. So then I head in the game real early too. That's the other thing. I head in a little after 10. I like to visit Jay Hilgenberg doing the pregame show and take pictures with fans also. So, and hang up my bear banner on the wall, the Bear Down banner. So yeah, I have a pretty good routine going.